Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Stephanie and today I'm just going to be filming a pretty simple makeup look. Not really sure what I'm going to do yet. Just kind of wanted to show you my routine. Hopefully we come up with something fun and cool. I really like doing different kind of looks. I like bright colors. I also like, you know, the more normal looks, but I really like the bright bold colors, so maybe we'll do something like that today. So I already moisturized my face, so I'm going to start with some primer. And usually for primer, my favorite right now is the Becca First Light Priming Filter. I absolutely love this, and I've actually noticed since I've started using it that my skin feels so much softer, and it's almost kind of helped to even out some of the skin tone too. So I'm not, it's probably just in my head. I probably just think it has, it really hasn't, but it makes my skin feel good, so really that's all I care about. If you notice I don't put any on my nose, I have pretty oily skin, especially my T-zone. So for my nose, I actually don't put any primer on. And I learned this trick from another YouTuber. It's a video I watched. I thought I would try it. It's actually worked pretty good. So I use the MAC Paint Pot in Painterly. I put that on my nose. I get a small synthetic brush. So even just something like this, which is just a crown brush. So and I just dip it into, so I just dip it in like that. And if I'm looking down here, my mirror's here. And then I just paint it right on the skin. I don't put any moisturizer on my nose just because I find that that makes it even more oily. And then moisturizer I do use, it's a gel, so it doesn't have, I find that cream moisturizers tend to make me kind of oil up some more. So one of my favorites, Laura Lee, suggested that if you have oily skin that you should use a gel based moisturizer, and I've noticed a huge difference with that. So I noticed that my skin isn't quite as oily, but my nose just didn't get the memo. So it just keeps on oiling up. Also, if you hear any weird sounds in the background, that would be my dog. He's a mama's boy, so he's in here with me. And he's not too happy because I won't let him chew on a bone in here, but he will just have to wait. So with this too, I also try to kind of fill in my pores. I know that's not really good for the skin, but because I don't use a primer and I do have large pores, I try to kind of fill them in somewhat with this. So just kind of patting that to fill it in. So now that that's done, we're going to move on to foundation. I really love using the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless. I'm in shade 125 or Nude Beige. I really love this foundation. It comes off looking very skin-like, which I love. I kind of have a hard time making my foundation not look cakey, to be honest. So I do love this because it has great coverage, which is nice. It's a cheap drugstore brand, which is also really cool. And it just looks so nice on the skin. It doesn't look very heavy, even though it's pretty, I would say medium coverage. So I just dab that on with the Beauty Blender. Ugh, my undercut's growing out, it's a mess. Try not to get my hair cut until the week before we go on vacation, so it's fresh, but my hair grows so fast and my undercut is really grown out, so gotta figure that out. It just starts to get annoying because I have curly hair, so when it reaches a certain length, it's a pain in the ass to deal with. Now the nose is where I kind of have to be careful with the product since I already have that other kind of concealer base down. Okay, and then of course taking it down the neck so there's no harsh lines. Right, so that is the foundation. Pretty simple, straightforward, easy to do. Next up, we're going to do concealer. I am really liking the Naked Skin by Decay. I'm in shade medium light. So for this, I don't really use a whole lot. Just kind of drag it down. do a little bit of a triangle. And I don't highlight because my skin is just, I don't know, the concealer sits kind of weird on my skin. And I found it's pretty much any type of concealer. It just doesn't sit very well on other parts of my face. So I don't know why that is. It's annoying, but so I just do it under the eyes, you know, so I don't look so baggy and old, but it's kind of hard to avoid. So just blend this in again with the damp beauty blender. Get really into those fine lines under the eyes. Try to bring it up as close to the lash line as possible. Now I will say doing this step has gotten so much easier since I had LASIK surgery done in February. And before then, my eyes would water like crazy. Anytime I tried to do anything around the eyes, eyeshadow, eyeliner, even just putting the concealer on. So I would constantly have issues. What's this brush? Oh. So I'd constantly have issues with like the concealer just not sticking. It just would look like shit all the time. So then I take this little brush to get in the little crease that's right there, because I have baggy eyes and I don't like want to get surgery on those. So blend that in, make sure there's no creases. So the next step will be, I don't bake my face because again my under eyes get so like crepey looking. It's weird and doesn't look good. So I don't bake, but I usually set my under eye with the Maybelline MasterFix. It's a translucent setting powder. I like this because it's cheap. I used to use the Laura Mercier and it's kind of, to me, it's a nice setting powder, but for my eyes it just didn't, it again would just look so dry. I've really been wanting to try the RCMA powder, which is like one that everyone talks about, but I just haven't, and I just haven't ordered it yet. I promised not to buy any more makeup before I went to Europe, so I have to wait till we get back because I don't want to be like a makeup liar, so I have to wait. Okay, and I just like literally let this sit here for a minute, and then I usually go in with, I got this brush in an Ipsy bag. It's the Luxie 660. I usually take this, it's kind of a softer brush, but it is also kind of dense, so it gets all that powder off that was on. So I just take that, wipe all the powder away. Again, before I got LASIK, oh my god, my eyes would just be streaming by now. So now, at least that's locked in a little bit. So then what I do is I take this, it's the Morphe R2 brush. It's a big brush, it's dense, it's soft. So I usually take this and then I start to kind of set the rest of my face. So again, using this powder, you just kind of dab it on, usually, you know, not big chunks like that. Get it together, Stephanie, God. Kind of go and dust the powder on, kind of pat it and swipe it. Honestly, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I pretend I do, but you know, that's why I bought some books to read, so I can try to figure out what the hell I'm doing. Then after this step, I usually set my face. I typically use the Urban Decay All Nighter spray. I just like to set the foundation in place before I start really going in with any of my other products. I use too much, I know I do. Then usually just take the beauty blender to really tap that in. And I've noticed like the beauty blender kind of helps keep it from looking super cakey, which is nice because no one really wants to look like so powdery, you know. So now that we've got the base, next we're going to move on to the eyebrows. For my eyebrows, I typically like to use Anastasia Beverly Hills. I use the brow definer in shade Ebony, and then the Brow Wiz in shade Granite. My eyebrows are pretty dark, they're pretty thick, so I don't really use a lot of eyebrow products because I don't think my eyebrows need that much definition. So, and I don't really like them to look too fake. So I still like to kind of keep them looking as lifelike as possible, if that makes sense. Just take the brow definer to kind of define the edges, especially in the front. Wax my own eyebrows. It's so freaking scary. Every single time I'm so worried that I'm going to like literally take off half an eyebrow. So it's exciting for like the first second, and then when you have to go pull the strip off, scariest moment of my life every time. My dog has decided he needs to be closer to me, closer to his mama. He's a mama's boy. Oh my god, I baby talk him all the time. It's terrible, and he's 5. With the granite, again, I just kind of go in, do soft strokes. And my eyebrows are definitely uneven. Apparently he decided he didn't really want to be by me. Alright, now after that, generally I take eyebrow gel. I like to use the Too Faced Brow Quickie. This is in the color Universal Brunette. Kind of adds like a little bit of a highlight almost, so they don't look quite so dark. Which is kind of nice because my hair now is lighter. Take me a long time to get this color. And now I really want to dye my hair pink, so the gel has set the eyebrows in place. Now we are ready to move on to the eyes. Again, use the paint pot to prime them. Use our paint pot again. We're going to dip in with this little brush. And then we're just going to make sure we cover the entire eyelid. So primer is literally the most important step of doing any eye makeup. It's going to keep your makeup crease free, which for people like me that have hooded eyes is crucial. And it's also just going to help the color last. So we just do that. And then I also kind of like to carve out the eyebrows a little bit underneath with this as well. The thing about the paint pot too, I've noticed after using it for a little bit, is that it almost like dries pretty quickly. It gets kind of like this tackiness to it, which is good for priming because it's going to, oh my gosh, it's going to really, the color is going to stick. But when you're trying to move it around, it's kind of makes it a little difficult. What is happening over here? Looks like a freaking clown makeup. It's going for a clown eye, guys. And here we go. Kind of tacky, which, like I said, is good. You want that because it's going to hold the product on, but it kind of just makes it a pain in the butt when you're trying to apply the product. Okay, so for this part, instead of using, I don't really have a shade of eyeshadow that like matches my skin tone that I can use to kind of set over the paint pot, because you want to set over that. It'll just make blending so much easier. So I usually just take more of that Maybelline translucent powder and just kind of brush. I mean, you don't need much at all. And just brush it over. So now that that is done, my favorite part. The eyes are my favorite part. So now I just have to figure out what kind of a look I want to do. Start with the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Androgyny palette. I love using Safe Word as my transition color. I'm going to start with that. Just dab it in there, get some product, and then I like to start in the crease, go back and forth, and then also go in little circular motions. So windshield and circular. So now, what do I want to do next? It's getting irritated. Okay, so after the crease color, we're going to take the Anastasia Beverly Hills Lamana Renaissance palette. We're going to use Buon Fresco. Sure. And we're going to put that just kind of below the crease color. This is actually a brush that I got, someone that I went to school with sells, they're like Harry Potter inspired makeup brushes, so I love Harry Potter. So I decided that that would be a good way to spend some of my money. Okay, and you can see that that kind of darkened up the crease a little bit, which is what I was going for. Please excuse my dirty ass brushes. I haven't washed them yet. Okay, so next we're gonna take ColourPop's Glitterati. I just got the shadow a few days ago. I really like it so far. It's kind of a warm silver, like a kind of like a pewter almost, with gold reflect and a little bit of color. So we're going to take that and we're just going to put that on the first part of the lid. And I wet my brush a little bit with some setting spray, kind of help distribute the color. I feel weird like not looking at the camera, but at the same time I need to be able to see. So once we kind of have that inner lid color done, the next color I'm going to go in is a new one from ColourPop that I got, and it's called Dance Party. It is so pretty. It's like a purple with blue and purple reflect in it. So I'm going to take my Morphe G13. I love these brushes. I'm just going to put that on the outer corner. That brush isn't really doing it. I know this brush works well. The Super Shock Shadows are kind of, they have kind of a weird texture. They're really creamy. Right, so let me try. This is the Morphe, it doesn't have a name, but it's just the blending brush. There we go. Love this color, it's so pretty. Again, I'm going to go back in with this brush, with the Glitterati, and just kind of work on blending that in. That was like really easy to blend out. What I like to do is I like to go back in with the original transition shade and just kind of like really make sure to buff out those harsh lines. Ew, that was sick. What the hell? I'm trying to decide if I want to do eyeliner. Okay, so next for liner I use the Tarte Man-Eater. I like to use the liquid part. So generally the rule is that you are supposed to, let me get rid of some of that fallout. So generally the rule of thumb is you follow the curve of your under eye, so you just kind of want to follow that shape up. So I apologize, I'm going to try to get close and look in this mirror here. I generally just do that, and then drag it across. Please excuse my nasty dog. He's nasty, but he's so cute. Okay, and then once you kind of get the shape you want, just fill it in. Now the hardest part for me is always getting them to match, and a really tight line here. I don't like having like, I don't like the look of like thick liner. One eye down. One eye down. One more to go. The liner doesn't have to be twins, they just need to be bladed. God, this one's gonna look like shit. These like aren't even the same shape. Okay, so we're gonna let that kind of dry down for a minute, and then we're going to fix both sides. They got a little out of control as usual. Still recording. Yes, it is. So then I'm going to take this Morphe. It's like a little eyeliner brush, but I don't really use gel liner that much. So I'm just gonna kind of coat the brush Then we're going to take this and just follow it up. I just kind of clean up that, and then just kind of be very careful. Just try to kind of buff that out. So see, it's much more defined. So then next we're going to pick the under eye color, which I kind of feel should be a purple. We'll do a smoky under eye. So I'm going to take my ColourPop cream gel liner in the color Swerve. I love this stuff. So we're going to draw it on the bottom. So then after putting it in the waterline, what we're going to do is going to take ColourPop in the color Dare. It's this pretty, really pretty purple. Swirl the brush in there. So I'm going to put that down here. Like I said, we're going to smoke out the bottom lash line. So once we get that on the lower lash line, then I'm going to get my tight line brush. So just a really flat brush, again from Morphe. I'm going to take my Huda Beauty Rose Gold palette, the color Black Truffle right there. And then I'm going to proceed to put that right under. I'm going to put it right under where the lower lash line is. Okay, so see how it kind of smoked it out a little bit? Do that on the other eye. Okay, and then I just usually go back in with the brush that has a little bit of product on it. And just kind of smoke it out a little bit more. The eyes are done. So now I'm going to curl my lashes. This is the fun part. Alrighty. Lashes are curled. I'm going to go in with my Benefit Roller Lash Mascara. I love this stuff. It's so good. Apply it and wiggle it out. So now the eyes are done. So next I generally do my contour bronzer. I don't know how to contour, so I just literally bronze. So first I like to take this Morphe G38 brush and I just kind of like put the product where I want it to go, right there. Both sides. I really need to like learn how to contour because I don't really know how to do that. And then I take this Morphe, again, it doesn't have a number on it. I dip it into the powder. I'm using the Benefit Hoola bronzer, and then I just kind of go over it and try to add some sort of color and definition to my face. Then I do a little bit on my forehead, and then go and try to get rid of this double chin a little bit. Doesn't work that much. Totally heard about something, I think it was on TV yesterday, but they were talking about, it's a new craze, I don't know if it's in China or Japan, of girls injecting some sort of acid that eats away the fat in your like chin. That is freaking terrifying. Like, at what point does it know to not, like, there's nothing more left to get rid of, you know? That freaks me out. Okay, and then for my nose contour, I use the G41 brush by Morphe, and I just kind of carve out my nose because it's a little wide. Okay, so I carve that out. It'll be at the end. Make it look nice and cute, and then I always like to kind of connect it up to my eyebrows. I don't know why, but I like to do that. And then I generally go over it with this little Tarte brush from the Unicorn collection, and I just really make sure to kind of blend it in there. Now that we are bronzed, now it is time for blush. Okay, so today I'm going to use the Tarte Amazonian Clay Blush. This is in the color Blushing Bride. I love this. It's just such a pretty pink color. I like a little bit of color, but not like overpowering. So generally just kind of put that like a little bit above where I put the bronzer. Don't like to bring it too high up. That'll do. On to highlight. I'm going to be using the Jeffree Star Skin Frost in the color Peach Goddess. I love this color. It's just such a pretty peachy color with a lot of shimmer. So I just take this brush. It's a Real Techniques brush. I want to say it's like a, yeah, it's a setting brush. I don't know what that means, but I use it for this because I feel like it picks up a lot of product. And then I just brush it there and on the temples of my cheeks. Just kind of swirl it around the product. No, I still haven't really mastered the like blinding highlight. I don't know, maybe it's what I'm using, but still haven't really mastered that yet. Put on the nose and Cupid's bow. And I know that with oily skin, they say like you really shouldn't put highlight on your nose, but I can't help it because it looks so cute before my nose gets real oily. And you are highlighted. Alright. Now for the inner corner highlight, I picked up this Ulta Beauty, the rainbow highlighter. I like this because it has all different kinds of highlight. I don't ever use them all at once. So I usually just kind of will pick up, like if I do a green look, I pick up green to put on the inner corner. So today, since I did purple, I'm going to use the purple color. I'm just going to take this little tiny brush from Morphe. Again, doesn't have a number on it. I got it as part of a set, so I'm noticing that none of the ones I got in that set have a number. I'm just adding that on the inner corner. A little pop of color. Then I'm going to use in the Tarte Skin Twinkling Volume 2 palette. This one, it's extremely like powdery, but I'm going to use the color Daylight just to hop on up there for a little bit of highlight. So now we got all the face done. All we have left to do are the lips. The lips are the worst part for me. I don't know why. I am terrible with lips. They are just the worst to me. So I generally don't do a liner because, again, I suck at lips. So I don't know what the hell I'm doing. Since we have kind of an intense eye look today, I'm just going to go with a very nude lip. This is the ColourPop Ultra Matte Lip in the shade Midi. So it's a very pretty kind of a pinky nude color, which is pretty. So again, I suck at lips, so this looks terrible. I warned you. And I feel like I have like weird shaped lips, so that doesn't help. Okay, and the last step will be setting our face again with the Urban Decay All Nighter. Alright guys, so this is the finished look. We've got the purple eyes, very shimmery, very fun, something a little darker, maybe for night going out in the town, or you could just wear it every day. I mean, I wear looks like this every day, I don't really care. So if you like it, please hit the thumbs up button, subscribe, let me know any looks that you want to see, anything that you like doing. If you notice anything in my routine that I do that maybe you don't, that I should do or should incorporate, let me know. And I will see you guys next time. Bye.